Salut! In French class this year, we are going to learn a bunch of different verbs. Verbs are what makes sentences into sentences. They are the actions, the things that we do, and they are one of the most important things that we'll be learning. Um, while we're going to learn all sorts of different verbs, today we're going to look at the most important verb in speaking, writing, existing, the verb être, which means to be. This is a very important verb in English and in French too. The verb être, we're going to start with it because it's irregular. An irregular verb means that its conjugation, aka the different forms when you conjugate this verb, don't follow a set pattern. We're going to learn about other types of verbs that all do the same pattern and they'll be easy to learn and memorize. Être does its own thing. It is irregular, so we need to memorize it and learn it. Être means to be, the verb to be, and the words to be or the word être itself is called the infinitive. The infinitive is a grammar form for when a verb is not conjugated. It doesn't have a subject and the endings haven't changed at all. Être, to be, is the infinitive, and then you'll conjugate that verb. Here's what it looks like in English. We learn how to conjugate verbs as we learn English, as we're little children growing up. We learn these different forms. Conjugating verbs in English is actually very interesting. Same as when you're learning how to conjugate a verb in French. You kind of get used to the patterns. Here's our infinitive, to be. And then if we conjugate the verb être, we say I am, you are, he or she is, we are, you all are, they are. Être, to be, is an irregular verb in English too, if you think about it. Let's look at être in French. Être, to be. Être is not conjugated, aka there's no subject over here. When you conjugate a verb, you will write out 6 different forms. A form for je, tu, il, elle, on. A form for nous, vous, and il, elle. So when I say conjugate the verb être, you would write out this little chart. It's like a 3x2 chart, and these are the forms you would write. What's in green right here, this greenish color. In English, it's I am, you are, he, she, or one is, we are, you all are, they are. Here is what être conjugated looks like in French. Je suis is I am, je suis. Tu es is you are, tu es. Il est, he is. Elle est, she is. On est, we are, one is. They are, we've talked about on before. It's kind of like a nebulous idea of referring to someone out there. One is. Nous sommes, we are. Vous êtes, you all are. Ils sont, they are. Elles sont, they are. Let's listen to it again just in French. Être, je suis. Tu es, il est. Nous sommes, vous êtes. Elles sont. Être, je suis. Tu es, elle est. Nous sommes, vous êtes. Ils sont. Notice that in nous, we don't hear that final S. In some, we don't hear that final S. But vous êtes, we do. So the S of the word vous does get pronounced like a little Z to make a liaison in the phrase vous êtes. So normally you don't hear the S in vous. Here you do. One last time. Je suis, tu es, il est. Nous sommes, vous êtes, elles sont. We need to, let me go back, we need to memorize these 6 forms, suis, est, some, et, sont, and the infinitive. And then this week we'll be practicing conjugating this verb and using it in different scenarios. You use this verb être with all sorts of things, like adjectives. Let's say the adjective smart, intelligent. So you would say, je suis intelligente, I'm smart. Or tu es intelligent, you are smart. You use this with jobs, like I would say je suis professeur, I'm a teacher. You use je suis, tu es, il est with tons of different phrases in French. First of all, to use il est or elle est in context, if you've already mentioned something, you can use il est to refer back to it, or elle est if it's feminine. This is how you would say, like, it is, he is, or she is. For example, la table, elle est moderne. Oh, that table, it is modern. We've mentioned before when we learned about pronouns that there's no word for it that really works in French. You just use il est if it's masculine, elle est if it's feminine, and if I've already mentioned the thing, so I know that I'm talking about la table, a feminine table. Le professeur, il est américain. The teacher, he is American. Les amis, elles sont ici. Oh, the friends, they are here. Les cahiers, ils sont bleus. They are blue. These cahiers, these notebooks I've mentioned. You can also use il est, elle est, ils sont, elles sont to describe jobs and people's relationships. When you're describing a job or a relationship, you don't use the articles un, une, des, le, la, les. You don't have those here. For example, voilà Monsieur Leblanc, il est acteur. Here's Monsieur Leblanc, he's an actor. Ariana Grande, elle est chanteuse. Ariana Grande, she's a singer. And notice we don't have the word a or an, we just say he is actor, she is singer in French. Il est acteur, elle est chanteuse. Ils sont amis, they are friends. Elles sont professeurs, they are teachers. So that's a little more about when you'd use il est or elle est. I also want to show you one new phrase that you've probably seen already, the phrase c'est, like c'est moi. C'est means it is. Remember I said there's not really an it, so it can mean it is, he is, or she is. And then the plural form is the word ce sont. Ce sont means they are, or that is plural. There's an example down below where it's that's. C'est moi, it's me. C'est moi, it is me, that is me, c'est moi. You can use it to point out people. Oh, c'est je n'ai bu. That's je n'ai bu over there. Or groups, ce sont Marc et Pascal, that's Marc and Pascal. When you're using c'est or ce sont to point out people, you don't have articles. You would never say, say le Marc, that's the Marc. He doesn't have the in front of his name. Finally, you can also use c'est, ce sont to point out items that you see. Like if I want to say that's a phone, c'est un téléphone, that's a phone. If I want to say that's a calculator, c'est une calculatrice. Voilà dans la photo, c'est une calculatrice. And if I'm pointing out something plural, ce sont des photos. These are pictures. Now, why do I use c'est and ce sont instead of il est, elle est, ils sont, elles sont? I haven't previously mentioned these things. I haven't said le téléphone, il est blanc. The phone, it is white. What I'm just saying is it's a phone, and if I'm identifying, I use c'est or ce sont. And I do use articles here. It's a phone. These are some pictures, so I'll probably use un, une, des. I'm going to say c'est un téléphone. It's a phone. Could I say c'est le téléphone? It's the phone? Maybe, if I'm talking more and being specific and going, oh yeah, this is the phone I was telling you about. C'est le téléphone dont j'ai parlé. But if I'm just pointing something out for the first time, I'll probably use un, une, des. So here it is one last time, the verb être. I'll say it again with pauses if you want to try repeating it with me. Être, être, je suis, tu es, il est, elle est, on est, nous sommes, vous êtes, ils sont, elles sont. Au revoir.